What is up, and welcome to the All Basketball Podcast. And once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon, coming to you on October 13th, less than a week before the official NBA season starts. And we're going to be talking about the 2021-22 NBA season. Wow, another season upon us. And you know, at the All Basketball Podcast, we just don't discuss basketball. We like to debate basketball. I got one new panelist coming on, a couple of OGs or guys I definitely can depend on. But we got Joe on the show for the first time. What's going on, Joe?
What's up now? Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on finally, man. Moving some of that barbershop talk here to the All Basketball Podcast.
Facts.
But if y'all didn't know, the barbershop is one of the foundations of the All Basketball Podcast. When you get the debate, you might hear something crazy. We're not just gonna be, it's not gonna be solid and all cordial all the time. You're gonna get cut off. You might be interrupted. We don't like to hold back, but Joe, NBA season's right around the corner. What are you expecting? A lot of topics out there. Just get your opening thoughts on that first off.
Yeah, man. No, I'm excited. I think this year's shaping up to be like one of the best ones. I mean, between all the different controversies, set that aside for a second. Just the idea of all the different movement. I mean, something that's not getting a lot of headlines. You know, you and I talked about it in the shop. The moves Miami made. And how they're kind of repositioning themselves in the East. You know, some of the things that the Clippers did not do to reposition themselves in the West. And I'm just intrigued. You know, we know what's going on at the top of the East, but I'm really intrigued to see what happens 4 through 8 in the East. Because, you know, when you start lumping and looking in there, Charlotte got to take a step forward, you would imagine. You got Indiana that's coming. So I'm interested to see what happens in those lower seeds and see if they can put that pressure on the top seeds, and then out west, you know, 1 through 8 is solid.
Well, you didn't mention Chicago. I got a little belief in Chicago. I'm not big on Lonzo Ball, but I think he's definitely overpaid. But them adding DeRozan, you got Levine, very athletic. They already got Vucevic. I think Chicago should. I'm expecting to get to the playoffs. Do you see it the same way? Or you?
Now I'm hearing the hype on Chicago, and you know me, Reese. I don't see it, bro. You can't. And we had this conversation about DeRozan before. DeRozan has been 15-8 guy, maybe 18-9 guy his whole career, somewhere in that range. He can jump up and get you up into the 20s, but for the most part, that's what you can depend on for him. And I think Levine needed more of a facilitator. I don't think he needed a more polished version of his skill set, because that's how I see DeRozan. I like Lonzo a lot, but who is he really setting up in that offense? You got to stop. I mean, you know, you got Levine, who's a little bit of a flyer, at best a slasher. Then you got DeRozan coming in, who's going to work those elbows and that mid range. So I'm not as high on Chicago as you, Reese. I mean, I know you look through the stats, but I don't see it, bro.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not high on DeRozan either. Never been real high on him, but he's last year averaged almost 22 and 7 assists for the Spurs, playing, I guess, whatever position he was playing, small forward. They ran like a 4-guard set.
Right.
But
now is that his career high, 22?
no, I think he was a little higher than that, because I think in Toronto he was let me check it out.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, again, I definitely look to you for the stats, but 18 to 22 range, that's not going to win you. That's not going to, you know, that's not somebody that's going to carry you through the playoffs, even if you add a few points to your average, you know, going through the playoffs.
Now he was 27 his second to last year in Toronto. So he gonna get you buckets, but what I fear with him also, they supposed to be cracking down a lot of that foul hunting stuff, and he's one of the big foul hunters. So
yep, come through. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, trying to pump fake you and make you jump
Right.
into him. So, I mean, but with him, Levine, I think you get them guys in transition, it's good. Now, when it comes to the half court, it could be iffy, but
Right. Right.
I mean, but I like them more than I don't really like Indiana. I know they got their old coach back. Don't really like Indiana.
There's got to be a step year for Brogdon though, right? Like this is 1 year in the city, not so much in the system. He's got to take his step forward now to earn the payday that he got, right?
Yeah, but he gets hurt a lot. I think, but I mean, who you got?
Yeah.
You got LeVert beside him. You got Sabonis and Turner.
Bert, yep.
I mean, solid team.
That's not a bad four. Yeah.
That's not. But I'm
who's your big in Chicago to go? So if one of those can't make it, who's your big in Chicago that's gonna push him over? Because Sabonis is a real big.
Well, I mean, Vucevic ain't playing no defense, so I mean they let go of Tice. I mean, but I mean, Indiana there'll be somewhere right in the mix, but I don't think it's gonna be definitely bottom of the play-in area.
Right. I mean, they got that experience from this year. I just think Chicago may be at best 2 years and 2 players away, bro. That's my read on it.
You giving them 2 years?
Yep.
So you ain't got them making a play-in of the 8th seed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can play in at 9 too, so they could try and play in. I just don't see them taking that step, bro. I mean, so what? You got Billy Donovan there, right?
Yeah, he been there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Billy Donovan, how he brings players through the system. It's gonna take him a year to gel with Lonzo. And then you got to gel with DeRozan. So that's gonna be a lot, man. Honestly, he'll coach him up, but my opinion, I don't see him advancing with him.
I feel you. I'm not gonna go to bat for him. It's not Michael Jordan on the team, so but
right.
But what's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, good.
You believe in Chicago?
I think Chicago got some nice pieces, man. I think it needs a combination of coaching as well. I mean, you got the players, you got a little depth in Chicago, but maybe an 8 seed or something, but nothing to ride home about.
You think Indiana will be better than Chicago?
I'll be honest, I don't know who Indiana got.
Well, they pretty much still got the same players.
They added Carlisle.
Is TJ Warren back?
Yeah, he should be back. Yeah. Brogdon, Sabonis.
Karis LeVert.
I think I don't know. Chicago might be buried in there.
I mean, they don't now. Chicago really don't have any size. I mean, Tony Bradley not really good. They brought in Stanley Johnson. People like Patrick Williams. I mean, I guess he's a defensive guy. Caruso on defense, but
well, I had a friend watch the Chicago game on, I guess in the preseason. He was really impressed, but I told him not to get too bogged up about preseason, man. I mean, a lot of defense is not really being played, and it's just really an exhibition. It don't really count. So don't get all overhyped about some preseason stats.
Yeah, exactly. Those are wise words.
Right.
I mean, because now people are saying, I mean, he might break out Jordan Poole for the Warriors. I mean, I don't know if y'all seen the stats, dude was hitting like for 30, but it's the preseason.
Right.
But
teams you can do.
I mean, I think the Knicks will be good. The Hawks,
Yeah.
obviously, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Miami,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. I think Boston will still be good enough.
Yeah, you gotta count Boston.
So
Speaking of Boston, where's Kemba Walker at?
Kemba Walker in New York.
Kimber's in the Knicks.
In New York. Okay.
Yeah, so when I look at who's left,
You just ticked off 6 right there, so you just got 2 more spots left.
that was just 6.
You say Chicago, right?
You may have said 7 already.
I think I did say 7.
But isn't that good stuff?
I think Washington will get back in. Oh, and the Sixers will be in.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, Washington gonna be on the outside looking in, fam.
You got Washington on the outside?
Yeah. Man,
Did you say Chicago? I didn't hear Chicago. No, I still can't.
I got Chicago at 9 at best,
Okay.
ahead of DC.
All right, so let's run them off then. Let's run them off. Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philly, New York, Atlanta,
Boston,
Miami.
at 7.
That's 7. So, and you said Indiana's 8. That's pushing out Charlotte, Chicago, and
Wow.
I don't believe in Boston. I'm sorry.
but they got 2 players. I mean, come on.
I don't want to push Charlotte out though, Reese.
And
I don't think you can push Charlotte out. Not yet.
But they always hurt. Gordon Hayward always hurt.
Yeah, but it ain't Hayward no more. You got them other kids that's running there.
But when they didn't have, you see what happened to them the last game of the season. I mean, they're playing when they didn't have Hayward, right? They got beat by almost 40 points.
Right. I may have to push Chicago because Charlotte has to be ahead of Chicago, in my opinion. Chicago can't leap over Charlotte after the progress last year.
Hey, quick question, yo. Who does Charlotte have that's going to push us?
Lonzo. I'm sorry, LaMelo. Is it Bridges, Reese?
Bridges, Rozier, Johnson.
And another one. Who's the leaper?
That's Bridges.
Graham and
That
Mark.
is Bridges.
So Graham going to New Orleans. PJ Washington.
PJ Washington.
But he got that off the court stuff.
That'll be all right.
Yeah, he should be.
You know what? That pushes them down a little bit for me because, I'm looking at, in my opinion, you got to get it. We got to go 7. And what each team can go 7 deep is going to be probably the best that we can actually get to gel together. We know who the big bad guy is in the East, but we're looking at, people who can gel together with young players going as deep as 7. I think that'll be the litmus test for me.
So we got 5. We got 5 with Charlotte, and you can grab 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even see 5 with Chicago.
And I don't see Boston.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Mike, man. I mean, Tatum and Brown. Y'all see the score, man?
Wow.
Do y'all see the score I'm showing? I know.
Yeah,
I know it's
I see all
man.
that. I see all that.
But let me ask you this: is it agreed that outside of the Knicks and Miami, they're gonna have to actually have some type of continuity with at least 7 or 8 to push themselves to get in place. I mean, it's 82 game series. I mean, 82 games in the that we're looking at. I think really the strongest 7 or 8 survive.
You mean 7-man roster?
Right. Because I mean, if you look at it, I mean, the teams that we've just mentioned don't have actually that superstar or two. This league has transcended to you need 3 superstars to win a championship. However, I think that playing good basketball with a good 7-8 rotation, and a couple of kick-ins here will get you good seeding in the Eastern Conference. And based on that, playing together, you can actually push a couple of teams who haven't really gelled, but they have the all-star.
I get you on that. So my thing is with Boston though, you got Tatum, you got Brown, you got Smart, you got what's the big in Boston, Reese, that they just re-signed? Is it Robert
Williams?
Robert Williams. So you got a 5 right there, and I know I'm missing a couple. I just think that experience, I mean, with Tatum going over to the All-Star, the Olympics, I think Brown being healthy, I can't see them being outside of the 8. Now, I get you, and I agree with you if you say they're not going to be able to challenge for the Eastern Conference Finals and beyond. I get that. But it's hard for me to exclude them out of that top 8 in the East.
Well, you heard it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Tatum Brown.
Something up with your signal. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, either Tatum or Brown is gonna get hurt, and they ain't gonna be able to beat nobody.
What are you talking about? Like these guys don't have the injury history. What are you? Oh no, well, okay, I come back. I take that back. Now Brown did get hurt for a while, but not recently. No, who was hurt in the playoffs last year? That was Brown, right?
Yeah.
Tatum or Brown will get hurt, and they not gonna make the playoffs because they don't have us. They got 2 people.
So Dennis Schroeder ain't gonna make a difference.
They got Schroeder.
He's one game he'll show up, but one game he won't. I ain't worried about Schroeder.
What about Big Al?
He old. He getting old, man.
Yeah.
All he can do is shoot.
Man, I forgot Jabari Parker was over there, man.
It's sad. He only 26 years old, man.
Right.
He's in Atlanta, right?
No, he went to Boston last year.
Right, and that's another reason why they will not make
Hey,
the
man, Frank, man, you be killing me sometimes.
That's Mike.
Right. Hey, man, I love you to death, man. You know me and you go at it a lot with this thing, but come on, man.
You think will Jabari Parker average 20 points a game? No, he is not a difference.
No, I'm not doing that. However, what I'm trying to say is that, the upper echelon teams have established a big three rotation.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is this, is that, after that, it's about Steve. You know what I mean? And your matchups. You know what I mean? And if you can play well together and you can get a good matchup, you know what I mean? And over 82 games, you get your thing together, barring any injuries, obviously. But I really do think that, it's basketball.
Yeah. That's a great thing too. We're all entitled to our own opinion, right? You believe Boston gonna make it? Exactly. I don't believe they're gonna make it to the playoffs.
I know that. Yeah.
But what's your? They got a new coach. they got similar players. More likely they're going to be healthy. So what's your, just other than you thinking that, what's the proof behind it? What's pushing you that?
It's two guys carrying the team, right? Am I missing something? I mean,
What team doesn't have, besides the Lakers, maybe Brooklyn, what decent team doesn't have two guys who carry the team? Except like Luka. I mean, we even got
It's
Porzingis.
always
Okay,
always 2 or less, right?
Atlanta,
Trae Young and I mean, John Collins solid. I mean, they got.
but he doesn't carry the team. They got a solid group of players. They got a deep 8 or 9 people that could possibly, carry the team on some nights. So they have a deep bench.
Nowhere near superstar level though, right?
I mean, that's for the playoffs, but not regular season. We're talking about regular season. And I just don't believe Boston gonna make the playoffs.
Talent wins regular season games.
Is that the continuity that has developed in what we've seen in the Hawks, and we've seen some good stuff out of the Hawks in their playoff run. And, John Collins, the coaching, Trae Young,
the shooter.
To me, a bona fide superstar, the way he's shocking it, can he come back and do the same thing? And that will sustain him as a superstar. Now,
right.
What's the difference between what Jason Tatum did and with the Boston team, and their continuity, and could they come back and do the same thing? Because in my opinion, neither one of them have had, it's yet to be seen for Trae Young. However, back-to-back great seasons.
Right. True.
I've not seen that from Jason Tatum, just based on what he had to deal with and getting his chemistry together with other teammates, barring injuries. So I think they're on the same plane, is what I'm saying. Trae Young has to back this one up, for us to really think that the Hawks are for real. Am I wrong in assessing that?
Well, I think the Hawks have a deeper team. Like, you take away the stars, I'd rather have the Hawks squad than have Boston. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and then they have better coaching because McMillan is a proven coach. Boston got a first-year coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I mean, it's just a lot of intangibles there. I mean, yeah, Smart, he plays hard. He'll hit a 3 every now and then, but I'm not counting on Smart to be that third guy that carries the team to the playoffs. No.
But do you think that with Brown, Tatum, and Smart, that nucleus is not a big 3 in the eyes of NBA and the fandom that's out there? However, as basketball analysts, what we're looking at is 3 guys who've played together for a great deal of time and actually have had playoff successes and playoff failures. I actually kind of lean to them before I lean to the Hawks, who were, kind of a Cinderella type of deal, and it's just something to think about.
Well, I give you defensively. Yeah, I'd rather have those 3 players to carry the defensive end when Boston's playing D than any 3 of the Hawks, right? I mean, from their particular positions. They D up, they draw fouls and charges, they block shots. They're good rotate defensive players. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I wouldn't say good. I mean, they're upper echelon. But I don't know if those 3 are gonna win me ball games. Offense. I mean, Tatum can do it. He's dropped 50, if not 60 points. But you need more than ISO ball. Some nights. I mean, some nights he will give you a W. But
can I ask a question though? To that point, what's the difference between Boston and Portland? If you got 2 lead superstars with a bunch of ancillary players surrounding them, you got one real killer, Dame and Tatum. What's the how are we always saying Portland is a lot and we questioning Boston right now?
That's a good point, because I really do feel that, with them, with the Celtics have played together for so many years, you know what I mean? I think that I don't think they reached their ceiling. I think that the NBA season took a toll. On the other hand, in the West, you talk about Dame and McCollum. Yeah, assassins. You know what I mean? However, their pieces have not played together because they're always adding. You know what I mean? If you give me you give me this solid year, and barring no free agency and everything, I think that Portland could actually make a run. They have the assassins, they have the game winners, they have those guys. It's the others, and I think the Celtics have the others more so based on experience together as opposed to Portland.
I'm definitely not saying that Tatum is comparable to Dame. I'm saying Dame is definitely above Tatum, but Tatum is not that far behind him. And I just think if we can depend on Dame to lead his team in the West, which is no question more competitive top to bottom. I mean, the East may be a lot more top heavy now. It's hard for me to, and I'm not saying they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Final. I think that was kind of an aberration when they did that a couple years ago. But okay, I cannot see them on the outside. I can't see them out and Chicago, Charlotte, and or Indiana in. That world, just from a basketball standpoint, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that boggles my mind as well. I actually see them at least at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boston's high as 4? What you saying? That's
what college did Tatum go to?
He went to Duke.
Right. I mean, we all know about what happens with Duke players.
He's the exception. Now whatever's going on. Tatum's been pretty healthy.
Ask Jalen Johnson. Ask Grant Hill.
Now Tatum's been one of the more healthier players. Him, Ingram, they've been more healthy. One of the more healthy players.
Boy, you a beast, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Who was Frank?
No, that's Mike. That's Mike, Parrish.
Oh, that's Mike. Oh, my bad. Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry. God damn. I'm sorry, man.
But I want to jump to the other topic in the East. And when me and Joe last in the barbershop a few weeks ago, we brought up the whole Ben Simmons thing. We know what's going on. Now they're saying he's there, but Doc Rivers is like he's going to play. I don't know. Or ask Woj if he's going to play. But basically reported, looked like he took his COVID stuff, so he's going to be trying to do something. But me, Joe, and our barber had a debate about Ben Simmons. Do y'all think Ben Simmons can recover from what he just experienced in the playoffs? He's young. I think he can. I don't know about in Philly, but his mindset and the way the certain things he said about why I need to shoot 3-pointers, I make so much money, and he's continuing not to shoot. Then to pass up on that dunk and just seeing that image of him where he was in the basket and where Trae Young was, and he didn't even thinking about dunking or laying the ball in. I mean, it's
those are moments, though, man. Guys can overcome.
Did Nick Anderson overcome what he overcame? That's not missing free throws. Was he ever the same afterwards?
Man, you gotta let that go, man. That was 25 years ago.
But I mean, that's an example I have.
Hold on, too. You wanted Nick Anderson to make the free throws, didn't you?
Hey, did he not become an exec with the franchise after he?
Right. The whole Magic franchise just went downhill from there. Huh?
No, but they wouldn't have got swept. I mean, I think Joe was making some good points. He said, if you look at Giannis, what what he had to overcome. But I just think Ben Simmons thing is so much. I mean, that's pretty tragic, man. I don't know if he has the mentality or the heart to want to really bounce back.
So you feel it's mental?
Yeah, when you stop shooting in the fourth quarter, I mean, I'm nowhere near that level of playing, but I played on some courts where I remember days where I was scared, man. I would miss a few shots in the park I never been at, and I'd be shook and just barely catching the ball, and you have to overcome that. But for him to do that at the level of the NBA now, I mean, guys gonna pounce on that, man.
I don't know. He's still.
Yeah, I hope he can turn it around.
He's still in the prime of his career, though. I mean, he's still looking up, and he has room to develop. I don't think it's over. Like the Anson being 35, missing on free throws. Like he's 20. He ain't even 25, is it?
Well, yeah, like 25. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he got ample time to, go seek some therapy and get right.
But what is he showing you that he hasn't shown us anything that different?
Has he shown you the papers that he's been to therapy to get right?
Like, I mean, hey, he's a social media baby. He can put it on the internet.
Hey, like, the question really is has he worked on that? No one has ever asked that question. I mean, really, to be honest, everyone's been down on Ben Simmons as far as his shooting. No one has ever asked a question to the Sixers or management, Doc. No one's actually given you a true assessment of what he's working on in the off season. He comes back into the next season. The same Ben Simmons that we saw last season. There are guys who in this league have worked on their shots, and he's not a 6'11" center who's just dunking and he's gonna work on his freaking free throws. He's working on his post move. This guy has the ball a lot, and he gets a lot of kickouts. He's distributing. The mid-range jumper, he needs to be able to knock down. Free throws, he needs to be able to knock down because he has the ball so much, and no one has actually answered that question. How much does he work on that? Or is this guy not working on his game in the offseason? Because how many years has it been? And it's been no progression.
Well, that's okay. So now, it's been some progression, bro. I mean, I hear everything everybody's saying, and Reese was right. Like we were going back and forth on it. But a couple questions, right? So in anything we did in life, and we all played ball on some level and everything like that, at least for me, I knew there was a difference between when I couldn't rely on my athleticism anymore and when I had to start thinking the game. And to me, I think we actually aren't being hard enough on Ben. Like we asking him, is he working on his game and all that? I don't think that's the problem. I think this is the first time Ben has come up against competition that his athleticism couldn't overcome. So he's getting to these levels in the playoffs and he's not able to just say, I'm gonna do this little half move where I hadn't worked on my game and it's gonna work. And then when I'm confronted with some resistance and people call me soft or say I ain't working on my game, then I'm gonna run and pout and say I'm a lead. I'm saying, and Reese, this is an addition to what I was saying. Not only should Philly take Ben back, I don't think Ben can be successful unless he exercises them demons in Philly and put it all out there. If he goes to Sacramento, if he goes to Minnesota, his career is gonna be maybe 50% of what it should be. If he doesn't stay in Philly, Ben is not going to ever achieve his potential.
It's dead. I agree. If he doesn't actually tackle that with one of the best coaches in the game, then he is going to be the biggest bust we've ever seen. And this is going to be Stan's 4 years in the league. So.
Well, the coach did kind of throw him on the bus too, because when they asked him after that loss, "Can you win with Ben Simmons?" He's like, I don't know. Well,
Yeah,
that's a
but
tough one.
yeah, but Phil said Shaq was out of shape, bro. He said Kobe was selfish. Coaches do stupid stuff. Larry Brown took shots at AI.
He had to. He had to take shots.
Maybe you got to take shots at Ben.
But my thing is this: is that with the event of coaches of this day and age, as opposed to the '80s coaches with Chuck Daly, Boston's head coach, all of those guys, they were NBA legends in their own right. However, they weren't as accessible to the media at that time. So it's a lot of things that go on between the player and the coach, especially when the player has when the coach has played in the NBA. You have to factor into this. It's like, man, you being a big baby. You know what I mean? I've gone through this. You know what I'm saying? You got a shooting block. You got, you know what I'm saying? There's something that is not happening with you right now. There's no need to pout. I've been in the league before. I understand that. That's what I'm going through, and I'm your coach, and I can help you get through it. And I think that a lot of players are really not actually exercising the wealth of experience that comes with having coaches that are actually there. This scenario of like the coaches from the 80s and everything has not actually been that, at the forefront now with player-coach relationships and until now, but you got veteran coaches now, and I think that he got to get off the pot, and I just think that's Doc Rivers is just one of them coaches. But go ahead.
Well, the issue in today's game is you got 7, 8 coaches. You practically got a coach for every player. Like, why do you need 6 assistant coaches, man? Like what's the third assistant doing that the fourth assistant can't do? But back in the day, it was only like 2 or 3. So I don't know if that's a money issue or what's going on there. But
during the Bulls runs, it was a few coaches on the bench, man. It was Phil Jackson,
Right.
Tex Winters,
Well,
Bach. It was a few guys on the bench.
right. So, but what I'm saying is, it's about trust. You know what I mean? And the head of the franchise. You know what I mean? You got this guy Ben Simmons, who is actually their guy. And then the coach is the other head. You know what I mean? And who is brought into the limelight, and their relationship actually matters as to the progression of the team, or so it seems in the perspective of fans, and you know how Philly fans are. So what I'm saying is this: is that there's something that he can do, as you said, 7, 8 coaches. You got to be cool with somebody. You know what I mean? If it's not Doc Rivers, hey, man, work with your shooting coach. You know what I mean? And let him report to Doc that this is the progression that you're making. But what I'm saying is that Ben Simmons seems to me that he has a disconnect between his head coach being a former player and him being a player. That's what I think. And I think he has to overcome that block, that he has in his game.
Yeah, he got to overcome something.
I think just on a life point with Ben, like you said, Maurice, man, listen, I got cut from the 8th grade at Virgo.
Me too.
And I played some ball, you know what I'm saying? But when you're that big and you're right there, you gotta dunk it. You gotta do something. So whatever response he got, it was frustration. They were really frustrated. Like, we in a war. And you just, like, what's going on, bro? But he got to get out of his feelings. And I know he's young. So this would be a great opportunity, like my man said, like, go ahead and bite the bullet now, because if you run from this,
Right.
and actually, if you're in your feelings, you're like, man, everybody's against me. They're just frustrated, but they really with you. Right. And this season can be the season where you just come back, and they're actually holding you accountable. They're pointing out, like, man, this is not you. This is not your potential. You're not fulfilling your potential. But if he runs from this and goes with people who will pacify him, it's going to be bad.
Right. But, I think he would be the greatest if he runs from it. Again, I say stay in Philly. Stay in Philly and get that coaching and get that hard grit. Philly's a tough town to play in. I get it. You know what I mean? But you need that. For a person like him, he needs it because of where he came from. But you gotta stay, like you say, you gotta stay in there. I agree with everyone. You gotta stay in there. However, I can't pamper a guy with that type of skill, at 6'11". You know what I mean? Shit. Give me a break, man. Right. I mean, you can go to the hole. You can dribble, you can pass. I mean, just get in the gym and work on your jumper, dude.
But
that's all I got to say.
But he's been doing that. I mean, the most recent thing I saw was him working out with John Wall and Joe Johnson. He was taking all these jumpers. It was more of a workout thing. But I mean, I don't know. He's been doing that the past few off seasons, and it come late in the game, come in the playoffs, he won't shoot. And now he really believes, because he said I guess it was reported that he said he don't think him and Joel Embiid are working because they occupy the same space. And you can kind of see that at times, because then you got Embiid out there shooting threes, he's settling, letting the defense off the hook when he should be down there in the paint. So it's like, but y'all keep getting to the semifinals. You're on the verge of going to the conference finals. Finally, last year, you don't get that done. So it's like, I mean, then all the analytics are saying it's not working.
Hey, Reese, can I ask you and ask the whole panel this question? 6'8" Magic Johnson, 7-footer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I'm saying? Bam, they're in it. You know what I'm saying? Kareem goes down. Magic goes to the post and does his thing as a center. I mean, are these guys not researching these lessons? You know what I mean? Look at past teams.
Parrish, you make a good point. But the things back then, guys knew their role. So Kareem perfected the center position with a sky hook. And clearly he's one of the top players of all time. But yet you got these guys trying to do everything. And it's not meshing, because as a coach, you need to say, all right, Embiid, dominate down low. Shoot an occasional 3 or 2, but there's no need to shoot 6 threes a game. And then for Ben, if you realize your J ain't working, you need to back little guards down in the paint, or have the offense more paint reliant for him. And he has to be mentally like, I'm going to get fouled. Let me go to the line and knock these free throws down. Because clearly he need to work on that too. You're talking about working on the short game, working on the jumper. You need to work on them free throws too.
But he's scared to go. He's scared to go to the line.
I agree.
But does he? But can he? I mean, Giannis, terrible shooting free throws, taking too long, airballing shots. But that dude never stopped being aggressive. Ben Simmons stopped being aggressive. That's a major red flag. I don't know if he can bounce back.
It's a red flag, Reese, but he's 25, bro. You should have red flags at 25. That's the crux of my whole argument. Like, if this is 30, we having a different conversation. I'm like, that's who he is. But there's a difference between 25 and 27, 27 and 29. Like that, you growing a whole lot in that little 5-year period, bro. And as an athlete, I would imagine it's the same way. There's a difference between 25-year-old LeBron getting bounced and then 30-year-old LeBron overcoming. And I'm not saying they're comparable as far as what they've accomplished to this point, but it's just a matter of you really can't say this man has reached his potential. Like at 25, LeBron couldn't shoot a lick. So I mean, I just don't think you can walk away from 6'11" that defends hard. Right. You can't walk away from that, bro.
But where they go? I mean, this dude just might crack under pressure at a wrestling event on AEW last week. The fans were chanting F Ben Simmons at a wrestling event.
Well, you know what, man? As your boy just so eloquently said, man, you know, the kid is 25.
You froze, Parrish.
Already in the game. I mean, Philly is going to come. You know, if you lose one game or you lose 50. So the thing for Ben Simmons, I think, is that, you know, he has to get his mental together. I think him and Doc Rivers and the management need to really kind of hone in on, you know, the aggressiveness, the lack of. You know, I think that's a conversation that needs to be had, because this boy is absolutely a beast, and he can actually bam on anybody at any time. He can take anybody to the hoop at any time. You know, spacing, I don't get that. You know, Doc can do that. I think. It's like you said, it's a mental thing, but hey, man, just start dunking on some people. You can do that. Hey, man, I used to be, hey, I'm 5 foot nothing, but you know what I'm saying? It was like, you don't get no shot off, and I hit goddamn 7 threes on them that night, so they understand. You know, you're not gonna tell me that. So I think that's what he needs to get out of his head. You're right. I agree with everyone. You're right. Get out your head, man, and play basketball.
Yeah, Maurice, I think this is a great opportunity from this adversity, but it's his choice. You know, being in the NBA today, in this environment, it really tests you if you really about that basketball, if you really about winning, because you coming in the league, some of them with major deals, you're getting so much money that if you don't have the heart for trying to be the best, it's going to be exposed. And so this actually is going to show us who he is. But if he is a champion, if he is a fighter, if he's got some big reason or something he wants to accomplish in the NBA, and he can humble himself and kind of reconcile, you know, and take accountability for that, man, he could really do something. But if he's caught up, if he doesn't have anything beyond just being in the NBA, he may fold and take the easy route. So I wish him the best. He has all the tools, but you know how sports mirror life. It's just like, man, sometimes you got to take that adversity and look in and go in the gym and just, you know, you hear everything, but just go hard, and he'll make it.
But I mean, he might be. I mean, I can't think of another guy with the physical tools who didn't get injured. He could be on the verge of being the guy with the most physical tools and potential to not maximize it. I mean, I can't think of, I mean, people like maybe Weber come to mind, but Weber got hurt. Grant Hill got hurt. Penny got hurt. Who?
It's just one. It's one thing. It's one. It was highlighted. It was the big stage. It was the playoffs. It could be embarrassing. But, you know, hopefully he can get past that, just get the help, the mental help, just get back in the game, because he really in a good position. You might feel some kind of way because my man said something on the mic and when they dished you, but y'all get behind closed doors, patch that up, and go to war. I mean, he's really in a, like we talked about earlier, that social media and that pressure from the outside and everybody calling you this, man, he can go out there and prove everybody wrong, because like you said, he got the tools.
Right, but
yeah, he's right. Yeah, he brought up a great point. I think when he said mental health and speaking 2020, like I think that really is his issue. He got, like he said, get out of his own head right here. Like
Yeah,
he hearing the noise, hearing this, and
got to echo somewhere.
what's that muffled stuff? But yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on in his head, man. But yeah, he's like I said, he's young. If he can figure that out, man, he could really be a star.
I mean, and hopefully, because I mean, he obviously wasn't aware, but this day was coming. It was building up in the playoffs every year since they played Toronto. I mean, they had Jimmy Butler there to and JJ Redick around to take up those shots, but every year after that, because now the 1 year against the Nets when Embiid was hurt, now he bought some reason when Embiid goes out, he'll ball out of control. They said he balled out in Utah one night in the regular season, like 42. But when it comes to the playoff, it's almost late in the playoffs when it gets tighter and your weaknesses start to be exposed. He just shrinks and he shrunk. I mean, last year wasn't even a microcosm. It was like bright as day, like, oh God, I'm not ready. And they're fouling me and I don't want to go to the free throw line because I keep missing.
So he's not clutch?
No, it has nothing to do with clutch. It's just like, I mean, pretty much boils down to having balls to say, okay, y'all gave me the ball in the post. If they're going to have Trae Young on me, I'm going to turn and tomahawk dunk on him.
Right.
Every time. Even if I have to get a charge one time. Like Shaq will say, and people criticize Shaq and be like, man, Shaq talking. But Shaq ain't, when it came down to it, Shaq was like, man, I'm the biggest dude out here. Like, I'm going to dunk on you every time you let me.
Yeah.
One person that really stopped Shaq to an extent was Kobe.
I think Brad Miller got him one time.
No, Brad Miller almost got knocked out.
But he got him though. He put him to the ground. He's like, you're not gonna keep dunking on me.
No, that was what you talking about? You talking about Artest?
Talking about Brad Miller.
Yeah, but you're not talking about Chicago, right? When Shaq went in.
I was Chicago or Indiana Brad Miller. One of them had to take him down. He's like, man, you're not gonna keep breathing me.
Because remember, he went and punched at him, and then Artest grabbed him, and they was
he got the punch.
Artest, Oakley, they all jumped on him. Because he swung at Brad Miller, he missed. Everybody's like, if he would have hit him in there, he would have killed him.
Yeah, he almost called him, right.
Right, but you got to be I mean, but I don't know who Simmons is talking to. I mean, I know he caught up with one of those Jenners. I mean, that's definitely not good. I don't know who's in his corner, but Clutch doing what they doing, but I don't somebody just needs to talk to him and he needs to listen because
he need counseling. And that's the thing is, people, I think everybody needs counseling, man. Like from us on this show, the people that's going through stuff, everybody needs to talk it out because with this whole pandemic, I mean, everybody's to themselves, and like people need to let out their inner stuff, man. And you're gonna see some stuff that you never thought of before. And you gotta work through it. So he need to. I think he's trying. It seems like on the outside he got stuff all channeled in, but man, he need to overcome that stuff.
Yeah, and this is a part of the profession. This is a part of life. Maybe that outside of the advertisement of it, and my name is Ben Simmons. You know, this is the adversity that comes. Even if you missed the last shot,
Right.
You should have did this play. So it's a lot that comes with being in the NBA. And so sometimes when you feel that heat, it's like, oh, I didn't, but yeah. He's good. He's in a good position. Hopefully he takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
What do y'all? We'll see how the Ben Simmons thing pans out. If he gets traded, I mean, maybe they'll meet his demands. I mean, the asking price was high, but
Golden State.
Traded, yeah, it could be Golden State. I mean, a lot of people are pushing now, just trade him for Kyrie. So, but if they're saying Kyrie might retire if he's traded, so, but I don't know. Do you guys think Kyrie's going to hold out the whole time?
I mean, get Kyrie out there.
Kind of pushed himself in a corner here. Like he it looks like he's gonna hold out.
I mean, yeah, you know, stick to his guns. I mean, I guess if if he feels that strongly about it, I know today they were criticizing, they didn't really, I don't know if I really understand his stance, but people were like, okay, he's not going to do so. He's not against the vaccine, but he's going to speak up for people losing their jobs. I mean, Joe, are you clear on what dude's doing? I know he says a lot and it doesn't make much sense. So I'm kind of.
Nah, I'm with you. That's the latest thing I heard. And to the point made early on the call, like I really don't like being critical of people in general, but in particular black men, because we deal with a lot in this world. In Kyrie's particular case, I really think Kyrie needs to just let himself be comfortable being whatever it is that he want to be. And if that's not playing basketball, then let that go. But we were talking a little bit earlier. It seems as if Kyrie is angry at the platform that provides him the opportunity to say what he wants to say. It's almost like Kyrie wants to be, and he wants everything that comes with being in the league, but he almost wants to rebel against it at the same time. So I contrast him with somebody who just loves playing ball, which I think Kyrie is a special ball player. I'm sure we all think that. But I don't know how much he loves playing ball. I don't know how much it means to him because he's doing it at the highest level. He's doing it, better than a lot, like most have ever done it. And it doesn't seem to matter to him. And so that makes me think like Kyrie is just, when I don't know if y'all I went through the whole anti-everything phase where it's like, yeah, I want to have cars, I want to have houses, but I want to be independently wealthy. And it's like, that don't compute, that doesn't work, bro. Like you have to do something in order to get to where you want to go. So to me, Kyrie is angry with the fact that he's a part of the National Basketball Association. And with that comes rules. But what do you do going forward? Like you can't just be a baller in the park and have the platform that you have right now. So in order to maintain the platform, you make some concessions. And these fake stances, I'm sorry, I don't know if they're fake or not, but these stances don't really connect with somebody who loves playing ball and who's really trying to make a difference for the community that he's advocating for me.
Hey, I gotta agree with you on that, man. It's very hard for a black man to exist and coexist, and make stances, and I think that's where he is right now. I don't knock his stance. I truly don't understand it yet, and if I could get some clarification on it, and I've been looking for it for the last couple of weeks, then I'm all for it. But if he feels that passionately about this situation, then I'm all for it. However, he has something, like you said, he has some things to deal with himself, because you're going in between wealth and your stances socially, and as black men, we know when we make those stances, we cannot actually keep that wealth. It's going to be a decision. So that's my 2 cents now.
What you got on it, James?
Can you hear me?
Kind of all right. You're moving around though.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I've never really been a basketball player. But I'm a Irving, the human being. I understand where he's going. I ride with him 100%. Personally, because of that, he can't play in the NBA. But he's out there taking a stance for don't make $30 million a year, who are going to cash society, you don't take the choice of vaccine. And so, I understand from and I applaud him. I hope that everything works out in his favor.
I feel you. What you about to say, Mike?
Well, I think that he has some things going on from even back in his LeBron days and how he didn't get the credit. And it's like the first caller said that he doesn't seem like the team guy. Like, you make sacrifices, you start assisting more, you play winning ball. It seems like from my end, it's about his numbers and what he can do. So when he went to Boston, he's like, oh man, I can't do it alone. Oh, I'm sorry, LeBron. Man, I done messed up, man. I need some stars. So he had to leave Boston. So he had to get some more stars with KD and Harden. So okay, now I got the stars. Well, who's my coach? So it seems like it's always something with him that, like you say, he doesn't maybe like the league or he just wants the attention. Who takes I guess he saw The Last Dance and took a 2-week vacation during the season because Robin had a vacation or something. I don't know what's up with him, but now, these little injuries and then now this, it seems like it seems like it's always something. And it's like, man, why can't the dude just do what his contract asks him to do? Right?
I think
Contract asks you to play ball, be a team player, get to the finals, try to get some rings. You got talent all around you. But it just seems like you just can't get it all together. Maybe he needs some counseling too.
Oh yeah, I mean he's from stuff he said or hasn't said, he's just not the most mentally stable person, and that's what I'm starting to just add it up to. I don't mean he's just a different guy. I don't know.
What makes you think Kyrie is mentally stable? Wow.
Because when you
and he's the one that is. I think everybody.
I missed. Hold on. We can't understand you. You said what? Go ahead. We can't understand. Go ahead.
Saying very clearly, and I think mentally unstable, and they don't know that. And so they call Kyrie mentally unstable. Kyrie understands exactly. It's just he can't do what he's doing. The white folk want to be in control. Kyrie don't. His life or his. So
you cutting in and out. Can you get somewhere where we can hear you clearly? Dang, I hate.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say the Earth is flat, right? There's gonna be a point where you get to, you're gonna look down, it's gonna keep going on forever, right? You're gonna get to the east.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know he just thinks different. I mean, I know he's recently become a Muslim, and I guess that affects that dictates his thinking. I'm not saying he's off or anything. He may just have a different perspective, but I just don't think I don't know when somebody says some things and then you really don't understand what they're saying. I always kind of have to be like, oh, I mean, I try to kind of be like, okay, well, I guess, all right, man.
Yeah. So for me, right, and I understand what my man is saying. He don't really, want to necessarily characterize him as mentally unstable or disparage him because he's taking this stance. But just for a few minutes, let's walk through this. So what's the stance? Because I think in our culture, this is a broader sort of commentary. In our culture, we don't really call stuff what it is anymore. Like we got all these nice names for stuff and all that. If he's not mentally unstable, he's at least being inconsistent. Because Kyrie is a person of color. People of color are dying from the disease for which the vaccine that he's saying he don't want to take. I haven't heard Kyrie, and I'm not saying he hadn't, but I hadn't heard Kyrie say, don't get the vaccine, but make sure you take all these other precautions. And I'm not
Why
saying that he hadn't said it. I just hadn't heard it. And
Why
so
he
for
gotta
me,
say
what's
that for?
inconsistent is, do you want people to be safe? And if you want people to be safe and you willing to say, I'm gonna stand up for these people's right to choose on how they're gonna be safe, then cool, man. But be principled in it and walk away from it. Don't say I'm taking a break from the league or I want to play just when I'm not allowed to, when I'm allowed to because of the vaccine standard. Say, nah, people should not have to do this. I'm one of those people, and I'm gonna step away for all those people who don't have a platform and come see me when the stuff changes. Like, have courage in your conviction, bro.
So what you're saying is that he should be a leader.
I'm sorry, bro.
Are you saying he should be a leader?
I'm sorry, bro. Let me address my man, though. My man, he didn't say that, bro. He said, you know what? I'm gonna get $30 million a year. I can't participate in New York or California, so I'm gonna take the half on for the road games, even if I won't participate. So give me my 15, run me my 15, 16, and that's gonna be my stance.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
That's inconsistent, bro. How much do you care?
Care about what?
The people you standing up for.
Obviously he care a lot because he ain't playing basketball. He gonna wait. He gonna get rid of the other 15 million. He letting that go. He still got to play the game. You don't get on. You make them white folk have to fight for everything, just like they have to make you fight for everything. And that's what he doing. He gonna make them fight for that other 15 million.
So is he donating that 15 that he's not receiving?
How he gonna donate something he ain't receiving?
Okay.
How he gonna donate something he ain't receiving? Look, we ain't got to talk about where it goes. Now we know that Kyrie is a very charitable person. He the one. He helped. Yeah, he helped the WNBA women get money when nobody else in the league want to help them women get money when the virus. So he's all out in the community. He does a lot of things in the community. He's a good human. I've never been a Kyrie basketball player fan because he's injury prone and he's not a winning basketball player. But part of that reason is because he's all about his real life and his real family. He could give a damn about the team, the organization, or the league. He don't give a damn about that. He care about real people. And that's why I ride with him.
Some of those are real people. You just can't exclude people because you work around. You should be inclusive for everybody. Everybody who's trying to help you, you should try to help them. You can't just exclude.
And there's a lot of people out here who are about to lose their jobs or are losing their jobs because they're not getting vaccinated. And it's not right. And Kyrie want to take a stance on it. And right now he'll get vilified just like Colin Kaepernick got vilified. Just like MLK, just like Muhammad Ali. Everybody who take a stance against these white folks get vilified.
Though, but he's not like Cap. He's not like Ali. They walked away from everything.
Why not?
They walked away from everything. Kyrie's gonna get that 16.
It looked like he walking. Hold on, Cap did get a lawsuit. He didn't walk away and said I ain't getting that. He sued the NFL and he won and he got it bread and he signed a deal with Nike. So he didn't walk away. He's using that money that he got from the lawsuit and Nike to actually put in the community that ain't nobody walking away from 16 million, whether you're wrong or right. If them white folk can't sue you out of it, you're going to take 15, 16 million. And then you're going to use that to, right.
I hear you, bro. I'm just saying, he didn't get paid for playing football anymore, just like Ali didn't get paid for boxing anymore. Like at the time, Ali did speaking and he got paid for that, but he walked away from his primary occupation. That's all I'm saying.
The NFL paid Colin Kaepernick not to play football no more.
Well, he won the lawsuit, so.
Right, so they paid Colin Kaepernick not to play football no more. Well, they didn't say how much they paid him. Don't nobody know, but they know that Colin Kaepernick got paid not to play football no more and not to say nothing else about it.
Right, but James,
and he took their money.
This COVID thing isn't a black or white thing. This is affecting everybody.
How you know? It ain't affecting me. I'm good. I'm straight. I eat healthy. It affects people who don't eat healthy, who don't take care of themselves, and who trust white folks.
No,
That's who it
'cause
affects. So stop
no,
believing in white folk. Stop eating
no,
meat
you
and
sounding,
dairy and candy and sugar, and eat vegetables and fruit and nuts and grains, and then you'll be all right.
that's not, you can't say that. This is a pandemic. The
Well,
last pandemic was
I mean,
1912. If
all the
I mean, come on, let me
everybody.
speak. Let me speak.
Go ahead.
Coming from a biblical standpoint, this
Right.
and what I believe, this is what happens. This is what will happen in the last days or up to that point. You have viruses, you have pandemics.
Right.
So for some of this isn't something somebody just built. I mean, built up in a lab. This is human nature. So, and it's not attacking color, it's attacking everybody. I had it. Folks I know had it. We survived it,
I
thank
know
God.
who's supposed to have it. Right.
And
My
so,
brother
I mean,
had it.
right, and it's not, I mean, and then, but people, a lot of people have died from it.
Okay, a lot of people gonna die from a lot of stuff if they're not healthy. That's what happens. Look, my whole point is this: I ain't knocking nobody who take the vaccine, but people who take the vaccines for some reason can't help but to knock people who don't want to take it. Everybody has to do what's best for them to survive. I believe the best thing for me to survive is to not take the vaccine shot. If you believe the best thing for you to do to survive is to take the shot, then by all means, take the shot. I have no problem with it. Just
Right, but he's saying he don't want to take the shot, and he's not against it. This is the one barrier we
What are
have.
you saying?
And would you not take it, bro, if it affects your livelihood, like how you eat?
don't tread white folk.
It's not a white or black thing, man. You got to get it out your head.
To you is not. To you is not, but to a lot of people it is.
It's not that.
Would,
It's
you
for
not
me.
take it?
For me, it's black and white. For me, I don't tread white folks. Okay, so you can say whatever it is not black and white. For me, and for a lot of people that I know, it is black and white. We don't trust white folk. We trust the Most High universe, and we put all our faith in the Most High universe. We don't put our faith in no white folk and no vaccine.
What about
We're faithful to the Most High. Don't knock us for that. And we won't knock you for taking the vaccine and trusting white folks.
My pastors are white, so I'm not supposed to trust them. They believe what I believe.
I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Maurice, I think he brings up a good point.
They're pushing a multicultural church because we believe that in heaven it's going to be all colors. It's not a black or white thing.
Maurice, I think he brings up a good point.
All right, I mean,
gets to the root.
It's not a black or white thing for you. Say that. For me, it is a black or white thing. So you can't tell me what it's not a black or white thing. No, you can say for me it's not a black or white thing, but for me, it's a black or white thing.
So what about all the other vaccines you had when you were a child? Go ahead, Cornelius.
Can you hear me, Reese?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think he brings up a good point of what is at the root of Kyrie's stand. And I think it makes it even more bizarre looking because he had all those previous situations going on. And then kind of like, I think if I remember correctly, he said something about Boston, will y'all have me? And then it didn't work out in Boston. And I can't remember if he blamed people or whatever. So now when we went into this pandemic, when it came to the vaccine, there was a lot of conspiracy from the Black community about it. Even myself not trusting it. And so I think that's at the root of I may be mistaken, but I think that's at the root of what Kyrie's of what his stance. But the other side is you may have a lot of guys who were on that same angle, but it came down to you know, was it enough for them to take for them to not take something that the science back that says is safe, right? So for me, I was like, nah. Then LeBron, he actually my president, and or Cuzzo took it. He got all the money, he got all the research, but it was also the pressure of what's coming in the workplace and everything. And it just shows the complexity. Like I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, and Michael Jordan is from here and all that. And people always like well, he don't do this or he don't do that. He don't do that. It's the complexity of living in America where he can't to keep his platform. He can't do certain things. He may have to be a strategist and do it a certain way. So it really came down to that. And in LeBron's case, it wasn't enough for him to say, "No, I'm not taking the vaccine." It was too much at stake. So for Kyrie, if that's really his stance, then he's going to be willing to take whatever comes with it. It just shows like the complexity sometimes of being a black male in America. It's like you have to weigh what you say and what you do, because it's going to have real consequences. But if that's legit, if that's truly you, like with Ali and some of the other people that were named, you're going to go to the wire. And if that's him, if that's what he truly believed, then I can respect that. And, you know, he'll take whatever comes. But hopefully that's who he is. And it's just not, you know, I just want the attention. But if that's his real like principle, then, you know, he'll take it and he'll move on and he'll stand. And I respect that. But he has to respect the NBA too and move along so everybody else can play.
Can I ask everyone a question? You know, I was born in 1972. Okay, so I'm probably the oldest one on this panel. Okay, I went to college. My first year of college was in the fall of 1990. Okay, and I know many of you are a lot younger than I am, and I had to actually be vaccinated prior to entering college. Now, I don't know if that's the same for you guys who entered in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
However, you know, this is a real point. And when I say this is that, you know, vaccinations have actually evolved and have ridded our society of a lot of debilitating diseases, you know what I'm saying, which both black and white have suffered from. Okay. Now, my question is this: if Kyrie is actually so opposed to taking a vaccine, how did he get into Duke? Okay, he had to take a vaccination to get into Duke.
He might have did. I didn't have to take a vaccination to go to college.
No.
I just went to college.
I
went to college. I went to college before Kyrie did.
I did too, and I went in 1990, and I had to have my vaccination papers prior to stepping on to the campus of Alabama State University and taking a damn class. So I'm saying, what's the difference? You see what I'm saying?
People just too smart for their own good now, man.
Have actually cured diseases like mumps. You got the MMR, okay, for an example. MMR, you got to have that before you attend any college in the United States. That's mumps, rubella, and the German measles.
I ain't take one shot to go to college. The only shot I took was some hen. I ain't take no shot.
But you had one when you were born, right?
Right. See, to go to elementary school, we had to take shots. See, but for my children who we homeschool, we don't get them no vaccination. That's one of the reasons they don't go to public school, because we don't trust white folk. I should have never had a vaccination in my life.
Well,
I should have never had one.
But you still here,
right?
So
praise y'all. Thankful. I'm not finna. I want to stay here.
So how you gonna praise God but then go against white people at the same time? They're white Christians.
It's easy. I say praise y'all. I ain't no Christian, but I'm okay with the Christians. I don't do religious slander. I'm okay with anybody who's got their own individual path to find God. I'm okay with however you want to navigate that. You want to be Islam, you want to be Buddha, because God, you can't say how somebody else want to reach that next level. But evil is evil.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say white folk, I'm not talking about the color of somebody's skin. I'm talking about mentality. Donald Trump is white folk. My best friend, mama, was a non-melanated human. She hated white folk. She would talk about white folk all the time. There's a difference. And when I say white folk, I'm not just talking about anybody who got pink skin. I'm talking about capitalists. I'm talking about, John Gruden is white folk. Bruce Allen, Donald Trump, John Biden, Kamala Harris, these white folk. It ain't about your skin color. It's about your mentality.
Right.
And that capitalistic evil mentality is where I don't trust, and where Kyrie don't trust, and where a lot of people don't trust. It's as far as people who getting vaccine and not vaccine, it's probably 50-50. Enough people ain't getting vaccinated for these white folk, and so they got to put more scares out here and offer a booster and all this. But folks get sick with the shot. Like, if I'm gonna get sick with the shot, then I might well take my chances without the shot.
Right, but they saying
Maurice,
they're giving you a chance to. It gives you a chance to definitely.
I think the Most High Universe gives me a chance. I think God gives me a chance not to die. My faith in the Most High Universe, my diet, and what I believe and how I live my life, that doesn't give me a shot. Who I decide to be around and not be around, that's gonna give me a shot.
Go ahead, Cornelius.
Maurice.
I want to go ahead and get off this topic. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the turning point for me, and I think to my man's point, man, I've had to get vaccinations, coming up. It was just something about COVID-19 where I was like, nah, I was just like, nah. I just went to the doctor. He talked to me. I'm getting scheduled to get it, and so it comes that I had to, even though I'm like, I would rather, I've done pretty good. I know some people that died. So even we talked about social media, I don't be out there on social media like, yeah, because like one of my mentors died, 62, boom, boom, boom. So I'm me. I don't got the bread that Kyrie has or the platform, but it's a similar situation where if I'm gonna stand on that and be vocal about it, then I got to go deep, understand what I'm saying. But if I have cancer, I'm gonna take every pill they got. I don't know what's in it. I don't shoot me with you got a lighter fluid that take it out. I'm taking everything, grass. So then if that's the case, then as a man and as a leader, and what I have to do, I have to sit back and say, is it worth it? And what's my motive? So I think with Kyrie, you just don't know. You're not because of the other stuff. You're not clear. Like, okay, what's your push with this? I respect them. It's just a complex thing. Like, you got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Don't just get caught up in the wave of because 10 years later, you have to. As long as you count the cost, cool. But hey, basketball is gonna go on. I wish them the best.
Most definitely, well said. But we'll see what happens. If he gives in or if he doesn't. The Nets do have a lot of stake. I still think they have plenty to still get it done. James Harden, Kevin Durant healthy.
Nah,
that's enough. That's enough to get it done.
They don't have enough to get it done.
Who you got? Milwaukee beating them?
Yeah, I got about 3-4 teams can beat them.
In the East? I'm talking about in the East.
Yes, in the East. Milwaukee is one of them, yes.
I give Milwaukee a chance.
Milwaukee got the best player in the world on their team right now. He'll get no credit though, but
he's not better than Kevin Durant. He's not better than Kevin Durant.
I don't know. I thought you beat a man head to head and you get the chip. You drop 50 in the chip. I thought you got the number one ranking. I don't know when we start putting losers up in number one, but hey, people can do what they want to do.
No, because your boy LeBron was ranked there for a minute.
He was winning.
Not 4 out of 10 ain't winning.
I said he went to 9 straight chips. Okay, that's all that. Enough said. But when somebody else go to 9 straight chips, then we can start talking about them. But
he didn't win all of them.
Let's lead it. He don't have to win. The most impressive thing to me about Tom Brady is not that he won 7 Super Bowls. The most impressive thing to me about Tom Brady is that he went to 10 Super Bowls. He gave his team 10 opportunities to be the best. And that's all you do. Sometimes you get to the final, you don't have the best team. And I, as a real basketball historian, I understand. I'm not a fanatic. I don't look, championships. I look at, did he have the best team and did he lose with the best team? But sometimes you don't have the best team. But some of the teams LeBron got to the finals were lottery teams at best.
That was one team.
And so
that was 2 teams. That was two teams.
Okay. How many other guys can got lottery teams to the championship every year? So I mean, like I said, we're not even gonna talk about LeBron because he's great.
No, hold on. You said every year. So when he was in Cleveland the second time, that he had 2 other All-Stars with him. When he was in Miami,
they won the chip.
Right, 2 out of 4 in Miami, and 1 time in Cleveland. Now Durant pulled up. Right. Durant trumped him. So, but if you were so great,
Durant trumped out.
When Durant went to Golden State, LeBron.
Okay, they had a better team. Golden State didn't have a better team.
Golden State, yes, had a better team, but
okay. So what are we talking about?
They were close. They weren't that much better. They were close.
Oh no, they were a lot better. They had Steph, Clay, and KD, and Draymond. They were a lot better. Come on, man. And then Kyrie got hurt. Kevin Love got hurt.
No, Kevin Love was hurt in 15. Kevin Love and Kyrie got hurt in 15. 16 they won.
Right.
17,
they won.
18.
Right.
But I'm saying 16, you coming off being the champions. You know Golden State's out there. Okay, they got Draymond playing well, but you know your main offensive weapons are KD,
Steph and Clay.
You got Love, Kyrie, and LeBron. Y'all shouldn't get beat 4-1. At least give me 4-2 or 4-3.
But the other team were better, and they didn't have Kyrie.
They did have Kyrie in 17. They mopped the floor with him.
Kyrie couldn't have been there in 17.
He was there.
He asked to leave. He went to Boston.
He wasn't there at 18. You thinking about 18?
Okay, so what happened at
17?
Right.
The Cleveland defending champions. We got the best 2 teams from each conference, and they beat y'all 4-1.
Okay, they had a better team.
Right, but he shouldn't have got mollywopped.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter when Jordan got swept? Nobody said Boston had the better team. They just said Jordan got swept.
But you said LeBron went to, when he went to the championship, he had the best team in the East. Right. So yeah, if you have the best team.
Not that year he took J.R. Smith to the championship with George Hill and all them folks. Who was
better? Boston wasn't better. Boston was young. They struggled with Indiana. Who was better?
Everybody was better than them except for they had LeBron. Without LeBron, every team in the league was better than them. They second best player
was Toronto. Toronto wasn't better than them. Toronto had the number 1 seed. They weren't better than them. So who was better?
Of course they weren't better because they had LeBron. LeBron makes everybody better.
But you said.
But if you take LeBron off the team, everybody is better than them.
But majority of the time, LeBron has had some of the best talent besides him. He squandered it more than he's won.
I think 2011 is only Mark.
2011. But the Thunder were young, but I mean when you have the better team, yeah, you should do so much, but you can't have the better team and do the least with the most.
That's fine. He got the 10 chips. Okay, that's fine. Who else got the 10 chips? Who else went to 8 straight, 8 out of 9 years?
Bill Russell.
Saying, okay, you got it. Now we get right. Oh, we gotta go back to the 60s and the 50s and the 80s and the 60s.
Right, because
I'm talking about it. Right,
he's the greatest checker of all time. He's the greatest.
Come on, man. I already know. Like I said, man, this conversation. LeBron is too great to even be in this conversation. This conversation is about the Brooklyn Nets not having enough without Kyrie. Because first of all, let me tell you one thing about your best player in the world, KD. When has he got it done without Steph and Clay? When has he got it done?
He hasn't. No, that's what he.
What about Blake Griffin? When has he got it done?
He hasn't. But look,
when.
No, let me counter. His foot was on the line. Okay, yeah, his foot was on the line. The series was over. It was over. If his
All
foot
right,
wasn't on
they
the
lost.
line, the game
And-
of inches.
Okay, they went to overtime though, and then he went 0 for 6 in overtime. He
Right.
didn't close the deal. Giannis didn't go 0 for 6 in overtime. Giannis closed the deal, went to the chip, and dropped the 50 and averaged 40 a game.
Right,
Come
but
on, man!
Giannis-
Like,
but-
give that
but-
man his
no,
credit.
but I give Giannis his credit, but Giannis beat a young team, and he beat a team that benefited from everybody else being injured. So he has
Who
more
was
to take
injured?
now.
Only person with injured was Kyrie.
Anthony
They had
Davis.
James Harden.
No,
I'm saying,
Anthony- I'm talking about
I'm saying with the Milwaukee Bucks beat Brooklyn. They had everybody except for Kyrie.
James Harden was hurt.
Come on, he was out on the court, man. He might as well be hurt every year then. Because every year in the playoff, James Harden don't show up. In a big game, he choked. Okay, so he got a hamstring. Okay,
James.
James.
Like a grade 2 tear. I'm not a Harden fan, but he's
all right.
Yeah, no,
James
hamstring.
Harden seems to have a hamstring injury every year in the playoffs.
No, that's
when
not
he was
true.
okay. So why didn't he show up in Houston when they played the Clippers and they was up? Why he never won nothing in Houston?
When they played the Clippers, you mean Golden State?
I'm saying let's not act like James Harden hasn't been choking, the biggest choke artist.
Yeah.
Okay, so what makes you think he's gonna lead Brooklyn when he couldn't lead Houston? None of them other teams he had to a championship, but he gonna lead Brooklyn. No, they need Kyrie
because he got KD and KD's playing.
Okay, they had KD last year.
I just told you what.
They had KD last, but he played. He played. He played. No excuses if you get on that court, man. He played. He got that on his legacy. It's on his resume. Everything that he did in those games is on tape. He cannot. I know I was hurt. LeBron was hurt, but we ain't sit here talking about LeBron was banged up. No, LeBron didn't get it done.
So
they
LeBron,
lost.
Right. So
right. CP3 got him. Yes, that's what happened. You get demoted. Right. Giannis is better than LeBron right now. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine.
Okay, he better than everybody in the league until somebody go knock him down. Till somebody stop Giannis from scoring, ducking on everybody's head, and until somebody can stop that man from doing what he doing, he the best player in the league because they stopped KD. He got stopped.
You don't think these past few champions have had benefits of other? Now it happens. I mean, it happens with the league.
It happens all the time. That's
right.
Any sport.
It's been happening a lot lately.
That's any sport. That's every sport. It happens. Pat Mahomes' whole offensive line was hurt in the Super Bowl. They still had to play the Super Bowl. We still getting Tom Brady his legacy. We still saying Pat Mahomes lost. We ain't looking at all that context stuff.
Okay. Let somebody else get in on where. I mean, I think the Nets still have enough to at least get to the finals. I think they still have enough, but Milwaukee will definitely be a tough challenge. We just have to see how it plays out. But then our West, LeBron got another super team. They're older, flawed. I mean, the somewhat flawed Westbrook. We'll see how he pans out. But anybody else want to say anything?
I'll bring up the Lakers. And
go ahead.
The X factor is Anthony Davis, man. He has to get his body right, man, because
you sound a little low, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can still hear you, but you sound a little low.
Why folk be hating on Westbrook, man?
Because Westbrook hasn't improved.
All right, so but I'm saying they're gonna hate on Westbrook, but then they'll say the Lakers are the favorite. All right, no, take your stance one way or the other. Because he driving the train.
Who's hating on Westbrook?
Oh, I mean, everybody except for me. It sounds like everybody except for me. I'm the only one that seems to appreciate an all-time great player, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, Westbrook, now if he cleans up a lot of those flaws, they definitely got a great chance. But he's flawed to a fault sometimes, man. I mean, he's not.
What's the flaw? I'm trying to figure this out.
Late game decision making. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, shooting, ball handling, ball security, and just leadership. You can't have a point guard that don't lead the team, bro.
Wow. It seemed like to me he led Washington to the playoffs last year. They were awful.
Well,
they had COVID
Bradley
problems
Beal
and
did the
everything.
same thing the year before, though.
He didn't. They weren't in the playoffs the year before. They were
right
no,
on
they
the
weren't.
edge.
Oh, they were edge and being in ain't the same, man. The edge is.
They didn't make it in last year either.
Yeah, they did make it in last year because
they played Philly. They got beat 4-1.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Right. And we didn't even count. The whole team had COVID last year, so they had a lot of players missing. Westbrook got hurt, so he missed a lot of games. Bradley Beal got hurt. He missed some games. Thomas Bryant, they had a lot of their key players, so they were playing guys out the G League. And when Westbrook came back, he went on an absolute tear. He averaged another triple-double. They went on a big winning streak. Washington became one of the hottest teams in the league down the stretch, and that got them in the playoffs. So I mean, then they won a play-in game. So
right, but what is he giving you different that he hasn't given you? He didn't give you anything different. I had him in the playoffs.
What more can he give me? All I want him to give me is what he give me. That's everything.
I need him to give me some IQ. Go ahead.
Well,
Mike.
I want to be clear. I'm a Westbrook fan, and I like the move to LA. But everybody's got to understand. So we were having a conversation earlier about people occupying the same space on the court. So LeBron and AD at this point occupy the same space on the court. So that's going to be on Russ to say, how can I add value to this team? Because it won't be what you did in OKC. It won't be what you did in Houston. And it definitely won't be what you did with the Wizards. Like, you got to come in, you got to hit that mid-range jumper that you can hit consistently. You got to come in and rebound. And you got to come in and keep the pace up. But that may mean you take a step back on scoring and just trying to penetrate on every single play and just set AD up for those lobs, set Bron up for the lobs and the jumpers, and really become a well-rounded player for this team. Not just for, leading a subpar or middle of the road team.
Man, this is my problem I have with people who try to dissect Westbrook game. They're not watching the Westbrook game. Westbrook ain't trying to score. Westbrook trying to get everybody else involved. He's the most unselfish player in the league, and somehow he got the route of being the most selfish player in the league. I say these people must not be watching games, because when I watch the game, I mean, you look at the stats. Go look at the next level stats. Over the last 5 years, Westbrook has led the league in most assist opportunistic plays. That means he's giving it up. He's led the league in assists 2 of the last 4 years. You can't, the whole fact that you know what the triple-double means in essence? The triple-double means, by definition, is I'm working as hard as I can to help my team win. I got to rebound, I got to pass, I got to score, I got to do it all. He's trying to do everything he possibly can to make his team win. And then you look at the character of guys around him, I see why. He has to do that. He ain't playing with great players since he got with Durant and Harden, and they just went to the finals and lost to a better team. So
again, bro, I'm a fan of Westbrook, but the modern triple-double, the way he did it, and he went on a crazy run, but he padded some of those stats too, bro. And I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that's facts. Like, some of those rebounds, some of those assists, he padded some of those. But again, being a fan, I'm just saying he wasn't doing everything he could to make sure that team won to the exclusion of getting his.
I'm saying go look at the numbers. The numbers show that when Westbrook gets a triple-double, his team won 72% of those games. That means he had to do what he had to do for them to win. He ain't get the triple-double and they were losing. Over 70% of the games that he had a triple-double, his team won. So he's doing what he has to do to help his team win. Now, if I got marginal talent, then all I can do is the best I can do. If I score 45 in the closeout game and Paul George scores 5 points, then what am I supposed to do? Since I'm the best.
The man took 42 shots.
Okay, who else you want to shoot? You know that.
You got to be more efficient than that.
But I'm saying you go back and look at that same roster. Most of those guys ain't even in the league anymore. So you want guys who not even in the league anymore to take those shots over a Hall of Famer. Man, stop.
What about in game 7? What about game 7 when he shot 7 for 21 and he had Kevin Durant? They lost to Golden State, blow that 3-1 lead. What about that?
What did Kevin Durant shoot? Now don't talk
He
about
shot a
what
good
Westbrook
percentage.
shot.
Oh, I didn't look. He shot a good percentage. He shot almost
No,
50%.
no. KD shot horrible game 5, 6, and 7.
No,
He
didn't
laid
shoot.
down.
I'm about to pull it up.
Look it up. Look it up, please,
on
do.
feelings and not facts.
No, please look. I want this. This what I encourage you to do because I already have the information. I need you to do this.
Game 7.
Why are you looking at that?
I want you to go 5, 6, and 7. They was up. Hold on, they was up 3-1. They up 3-1. KD, bring it home. If you the best player, bring it home.
He was off. He had an off game.
Okay. So then don't just blame it on Russ. Let's blame it on Russ.
No, I'm talking about the last game.
Oh, we gotta wait till they get to game 7 to blame it on Russ.
Let me go ahead, Mike.
KD didn't have nothing to do with that.
There was a time in game 7, everybody knew in the world that Durant needed the rock, and Westbrook couldn't give him the rock.
No, KD couldn't demand the rock. KD is passive. He don't demand the rock. No, ain't no.
A smart point though. I would give him the rock.
Westbrook is standing right in front of the dude.
And LeBron can look. If LeBron want the ball, LeBron get the ball. If LeBron want the ball, LeBron get the ball. He want Kyrie to shoot it, Kyrie shoot it. It's about who is the man, who's the alpha male on this team. And Westbrook was the alpha male. It wasn't KD.
And he drove him right off a cliff.
Okay, whatever. They went to the final.
Not that year, not 2016.
Not that year.
No, not that year. But hell, they ain't go. KD didn't go back to the final till he got with Steph and Clay. I mean, which was the next year. Right.
So okay.
For me, the Lakers come down to AD this year, y'all.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, James. Hold on, I got the stats right here. Okay, so I'm looking at high scores.
No, look at the numbers, percentage.
Game 5, Kevin Durant scored 40 points.
Give me the number.
I'm about to give them to you. Give me a second to get it up here. That sounds crazy. 40 points. He was off 12 of 31, but he went 13 of 13 from the line.
12 of 31. That's a bad 40. You know basketball. That's a bad 40.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so don't even talk to me about that 40.
Westbrook went 11 for 28.
That's better. That's bad too.
Missed 3 more free throws.
Okay.
7 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 turnovers.
All right. He the point guard. You're gonna have turnovers, don't I mean, how many years? I'm saying how many years have KD led the league in turnovers? How many years have James Harden led the league in turnovers? How many years have Luka Doncic led? If you have the ball a lot, you're gonna lead the league in turnovers. You're gonna be up in the top 3.
So in the league in turnovers?
You going back to the 80s, bro. I'm saying
which are my all-time greats.
I'm saying go back to the last 10 years. Go back to the last 10 years and look who the league leader in turnovers and find out that's an all-time great player who lead the league in turnovers. Okay. Because he got the ball a lot.
Okay, let me give you game 6.
Oh, basketball with me.
Okay, I am. Let me. I'm speaking on facts and not feelings. Let me.
You saying stuff that don't make sense basketball wise.
Here we go. Game 6. Durant had 29 on 10 of 31. Westbrook
10 of 31. That's awful.
No, James, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Westbrook 10 of 27, 11 assists, 9 rebounds.
Okay.
5
Who had a worse game?
5 turnovers.
Who had a worse game?
KD had 3 turnovers.
Who had a worse game? KD or Westbrook? Based off them numbers. 10 of 31.
One of 8.
And the other guy.
He should be taking more shots because he's the more proficient player.
Hold on, he shot 31 times. How many times you want him to shoot it?
I want to shoot as much.
You only made 10 out of 31 shots, bro. I don't want you to keep shooting.
Okay, now
let this other guy shoot.
You got your Westbrook blinders on. Now we go game 7.
I'm saying the man got. Oh, I'm saying. No. Let's stay. Before you go to game 7, please, sir. Before you go to game 7, okay. I just want you to tell me who had a worse game in game 6 between Westbrook and KD.
Statistically.
Be objective. Yes.
Statistically, Kevin Durant did, I guess.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's his fault they lost that game. Okay, now we can go to game 7.
Okay, game 7 is all on the line. Back in Golden State. Kevin Durant, 10 of 19, 7 rebounds, 27 points. Russell Westbrook, 7 of 21.
Okay.
7 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 turnovers.
Oh, all right.
Not a bad game, but
that's not a bad game.
That's not a bad game. But he shot terribly. If maybe he gives KD some more chances, maybe they don't lose by 8.
Hold on, maybe KD don't want no more chances because hold on, you just told me in game 5, Kevin Durant shot 11 for 30 something, and then in game 6, he shot 10 for 31. Maybe KD was shying away from the rock. Maybe he didn't want to have no more bad games. Because he laid a dud. He laid a dud in game 5 and game 6. Okay.
He went out shooting.
Hold on.
He went out shooting though.
What you just told me, hold on, and being objective, what you just told me was, hold on, being objective. No, Maurice, being objective. Hold on, no, I'm saying what you just told me. I'm just gonna repeat what you told me.
Okay, go ahead.
They was up 3-1. They was up 3-1. KD put up a spanker in game 5 and game 6, and Westbrook put up a spanker in game 7. But somehow it's all Westbrook's fault that they lost, even though KD had the 2 worst games in 5 and 6 than Westbrook did. But it's Westbrook's fault. See, I don't buy that. I can't keep buying that. I don't understand.
But James, if we're on the court and I see you're on, I see you're having a good night, shouldn't I give you the ball more if I'm the point guard?
If you 10 for 19, that means you down there 50%, bro. You're not having a great night. You just went 10 for 31 the game before that.
James, Michael Jordan shot almost 50% from, you know how good that is for a perimeter player?
I know.
For his career?
I understand. Right. KD ain't Michael Jordan.
He's gonna be when it's all said, he's gonna be up there with him as far as
no. He ain't even the best scorer in his era. So stop. Michael Jordan was the best. Michael Jordan was the best scorer in his era, hands down.
But KD,
Dominique was second.
But KD's on pace to be one of the best. He's the 50, 40, 90, man. He's on pace.
He's not even a better scorer than LeBron. And LeBron is not even a scorer. LeBron is about to break the all-time record, and he about to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record. Is you telling me Durant gonna break Kareem's record? If that's what you telling me?
I don't know, but with the three-point shot, I know he's gonna get close if he keep going and he don't get injured. Because what, he's 31, 32?
So he's gonna score 40,000 points.
Well, I don't know I have to see where he is now. But I mean, with the three-pointer,
you gotta play enough games, man.
You
gotta be durable.
Right, LeBron's getting there on longevity and durability. Right.
That's greatness. Right. Greatness.
Right, but it's already clear that Durant is one of the greatest scorers ever because he gets it so easy.
I'm saying Tracy McGrady scored so easy. I mean, that don't make you one of the greatest scorers ever, man. Come on, let's start getting. Why we getting these guys stuff they ain't earned, man? But Westbrook out here busting his ass every night, and we can't get him his due. We get all these bum ass niggas. We get all their credit.
Hold on, watch it, man. Come on, let's keep it PG, man. Come on.
I'm saying we getting all these bums. KD, we so love him so much.
KD's not a bum.
He did nothing. He's done nothing.
He won 2 championships. He took your boy LeBron's formula and won him 2 championships. LeBron paved the way for him. He said,
Steph Curry won them championships. Why folks don't give Steph Curry his due?
I'm about to. You can't.
Steph Curry, the second best player in the game. Steph Curry, the all-time great player, but for some reason he can't get his due. He helped KD get 2 chips. He had a chip before KD got there. KD don't got no chip without Steph. That's a fact.
That's a fact. Over 10 in late game situations.
Hey, Steph got MVP. Steph is the only unanimous MVP in NBA history.
But he couldn't get Finals MVP because
why he got 2? Why that important? Why is that important? Because them white folks says important. That ain't got nothing to do with basketball.
No, I mean, every writer saying that. I mean, he didn't. I mean, Iguodala made an impact, but Steph's numbers says he should have got Finals MVP that year.
Right, he should have. You look at his Finals average, he's averaging 20, 27, 8, and 8. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that from my point guard. Right, my point guard don't give me 27, 8, and 8. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to hold my shooting guard and my small forward can give me something.
So if Steph is as great as you say it is, why when Durant
stop being the I don't know. Yes.
Why was it so hard for Steph to beat LeBron if he's greater than Durant?
Change the game.
But that's it. I mean,
because LeBron is better than Steph. LeBron better than Steph. Yeah, that's why.
But you saying Steph is better than KD.
The greatest thing in the air cannot touch him. That's why.
You said what? What you say? You still there, Mike? What you got to say on it, Joe? Where are we even at as far as comments? Everybody.
I agree, man, that Russ don't deserve all the blame. Yeah, I mean, I'll get back to, like, for me, the Lakers' big three come down to AD, and what he's able to give you in the post. I mean, it's fine for him to get in the mid range, but I want to see AD like really putting in work in the post, and everything else will work out.
What we got going on?
They say AD bulked up a little bit. They say he gained some weight.
He looked the same to
me. Yeah, like 15 pounds of muscle or something.
Oh yeah, that's
turn up your radio
right.
He looked about the same to me. Who was that? He looked about the same size to me. I didn't.
They say he got more muscle. They say more. They say he's stronger. They say he's stronger. Right. Need AD to dominate because I think Bron is getting older, and I think Bron is just a cerebral guy. You know, he's still the smartest player. I think AD has the most talent on the team, offensively and defensively. And if let's say Westbrook don't start off hot, they're not meshing early. Well, they're gonna need AD to be a monster until they can find that chemistry that they're gonna need going towards Christmas and New Year.
So
I agree. Like, so it's about you, brother. Honestly, I just think. I think it's about chemistry, but I think it's more so about Russ getting a chance to see how LeBron operate. Because LeBron is what Russ could hope to be as far as a facilitator and, you know, court vision and all that. And so if he just gets a chance to really kind of bond and mesh with LeBron, see how he runs his program, I really don't see it being a bad fit. Like, I disagree with everybody who says Russ is a bad fit. Like, to me, that's like having a mentor who's done everything you want to do, showing you the game in Russ to LeBron.
Hey, let me just say this. You know, I watched 4 preseason games with the Lakers. You know, the first couple of preseason games, you know, the big three hasn't played. You know, however, last night was something that I really saw that the big three are going to be okay. They can dominate, and the communication off the court is what you have to pay attention to. You know, LeBron helping AD and Russ understand where they need to be and how these things need to play out. You know, now I'll say that because they're all-stars. You know, those guys are always going to be in the, you know, as far as, you know, performing, they're going to perform. It's the season. They're going to perform. One thing that I've seen that actually I'm concerned with out of everything is actually the spot-up three-point shooting. Now, I say that to say this. I mean, you got Wayne Ellington, Kendrick Nunn, all those guys. But in my recent years of covering the basketball, covering NBA basketball, those guys are not our assassins in the league. And I really think that they can benefit before the trade deadline comes up. They can benefit from having that, you know what I'm saying, that person to release to actually bury that three. You know, right now you're depending on LeBron and Westbrook actually to be the bulk of your three-point shooting. And I don't think that's going to carry you to a championship. It'll carry you through the regular season. I agree. You know, but as far as communication, that's the only flaw. As far as communication, LeBron is a damn good communicator and facilitator. And I think by Christmas Day, we're really going to see what they're made of outside of the assassin three-point shooting.
Okay. James, how you think Westbrook gonna handle being the third wheel? Because the best.
The third wheel, man. Y'all boys are funny, man. Y'all boys are so disrespectful.
So
how Westbrook gonna be the third wheel when he ain't the third best player on the team? He at least the second best player on the team.
So you put him
Stop
above.
playing.
Who you putting him above?
I'm putting him above AD. He better than AD.
You're not gonna win that way. I mean, you're speaking on feelings, but
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying that AD is the third option. AD should be the first option, and he's not the best player on the team. LeBron the best player on the team, but LeBron is not the first option. So when we talk about the Lakers, all the best players, when we talk about that, we talking about their legacies now. Westbrook legacy is killing Anthony Davis's legacy. Now let's just talk about options on the team.
But Westbrook
ain't AD only won the championship because he was with LeBron. It ain't like he was doing that by himself.
LeBron won another one because he was with AD.
No.
And the pandemic had a big part.
Come on, stop, man. LeBron got. Hold on, come on, stop. This LeBron disrespect. This LeBron disrespect is killing me. LeBron got Kyrie. Hold on, LeBron got Kyrie Irving the chip.
You're not right. No, you're not hearing me.
Okay.
You're not hearing me. I say the reason he got that last one because it was equal. They were both. Anthony Davis was the biggest mismatch problem in the world, in the bubble. Biggest mismatch problem.
Okay, who was the best player on the team? Who was the leader of the team? Who got AD? LeBron. Okay, so LeBron get the credit, man. It's okay. AD helped. And because he helped, he's a great player in his own right. We give AD rankings. We give him high rankings for helping LeBron. That's what you were. You were the help. Okay. Now he gonna continue to be the help, but he had to put more of the load. Like my man saying, AD got to carry the load, man, because he got the most talent. He the youngest one of the three. He got the most talent on both sides of the floor. He got to lead. LeBron is the wise man. He gonna tell you where to be. LeBron gonna tell you, he gonna motivate you right. He gonna make sure you come to your house, make sure your kids good. Westbrook is the energy. And that's what Westbrook has to do. Westbrook is gonna have the ball in his hands. He's gonna have to facilitate. He's gonna have to do everything that he's been doing because they're not gonna always play those three at the same time. A lot of time when Russ is in the game, LeBron will be out. When LeBron is in, Russ will be out. That way LeBron can still do his point thing. But when they all in together, LeBron is looking to score. That's why he said, right, LeBron said he's trying to play the 3 or the 4 this year because he's looking to score the ball. If you got LeBron scoring, AD scoring, and you got 2 shooters on the wing, then hell, how you gonna stop Westbrook?
And don't forget Rondo. I agree with that, bro. Don't forget Rondo.
Oh, Rondo is going to be big. Dwight Howard is going to be big.
And it's exactly the point you made. Like, Rondo is going to, as long as Russ can get over, the ego about it. If he let Rondo work that second rotation of that first unit and let Russ really run that first unit to start and then really have that second unit to himself, they can really do it. But it's got to be worked out between them two. And I agree. Wayne Ellington is enough for me. Kendrick Nunn is enough for me. And I don't think you need much more than that. Just
Malik Monk is enough for me. I like Malik Monk if he just gonna shoot.
I like Malik Monk too. Yep.
Right. Now, can those guys defend? That's my only question. I don't know if either of those guys can defend.
Right.
So AD gonna have to do a lot of that rim protecting and making up for guys' mistakes that get blowed by.
Yep.
They're gonna have to keep up with threes too. I think they have enough if those guys can make enough threes. Now, if they stay healthy, Anthony Davis stay healthy, they got a great chance. Especially once they get in the playoffs, they have a great chance. But now late game, they have a great chance overall. But if it come down late game, I see Westbrook doing some of the same stuff. LeBron
what you got Bron.
You got to take the ball, but you might have to take Westbrook off the floor.
But no, I think
why would you have to take Westbrook off the floor? Just get a ball to LeBron.
Why he got if he's not creating enough space?
I just think LeBron gonna teach Westbrook something about how to operate in them situations. And don't get me wrong, Russ was a Hall of Fame before he got there, but I just see LeBron taking him to another place and saying, bro, like, look at game film. Let's look at it together. Let's see what you maybe didn't see that I can see. And I think Westbrook gonna learn it quick. And I really think it's gonna work, honestly, man. Like I think a lot of the Lakers' doubt this year is misplaced. If they are
they're gonna
healthy,
win.
yeah, like I really think they're ready.
I think they're gonna win it all.
Well, they got a good chance.
Bar
I mean,
bar injury. I think they gonna win it all.
Yeah, the deck, as usual, the deck is stacked enough, so yeah, they should win.
I mean, the funny thing is that you have people who say on one side they say the deck is stacked in LA, but then on the other side they say Westbrook is gonna run the train. Like, which one is it? Are they stacked or Westbrook is gonna run this thing into the ground?
I just think if I want to say control, but if LeBron can convince him to not be out of control, then then they're gonna be unstoppable. But if he can't, I mean, Westbrook is a strong, he a headstrong dude. So
what we saying is, if LeBron pull this off, man, we gotta get him, because that means he the one with Kyrie, he the one with Westbrook. These people, he won with Dwight Howard. He got J.R. Smith a ring. He got Emmett Sharper a ring. He got Kevin Love a ring. All right, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there.
I just don't think, like, I think Russ got a bad rap as far as a teammate and a head case. I don't see that in him, man. Like, I think Russ is a real solid dude, and he's been in a situation where he's been asked to do too much too often. And I think that experience and that exposure to LeBron, and I keep saying, like, his process and his program, I think that could really change a lot of stuff for Russ. Because he can see, he'll have the confidence to know, like, I don't have to do all this, and I'm still great. And I don't think I don't think KD put him in that position. I don't think PG or Bradley Beal or Harden, for that fact, put him in that position to say, bro, you all right just doing these particular things. You don't have to do everything all the time.
You got to find somebody to listen to. Like he ain't
Well,
got much listening up to this point.
I think Bradley Beal accepted it, and it worked out great. It's just that Bradley Beal in the playoffs, and he wasn't there them final games, and so Westbrook was really a one-man show because Bradley Beal had messed his hamstring up. But before that, they were rolling, they were high. Like, Bradley Beal was getting his numbers, and Westbrook was getting his triple doubles, and everything was working out good. So I just think that the media, because how Westbrook, he had this scowl he plays with, and he plays so hard. And when he's in Utah, and them white folk be being some bigots, and he tell them white folk, y'all better stop before I got there and raise hell on y'all. And then the media just paint a bad picture on him. But I think he's an upstanding guy. He's a great person off the court by all counts I've heard. On the court, everybody say the hardest players in the NBA is Russell Westbrook and Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak. When I pay a ticket, I want to see this guy play hard the whole game. That's what I want to see. I hate when I see guys cheat me. I don't care if you go 10 for 40. Don't cheat me with energy. I never get cheated with energy with Westbrook. And I gotta appreciate what the man brings to the game for my entertainment value.
Let me ask you this question, everyone. Is that Lakers had LeBron down for an extended time last season. They had KD down for an extended time last season. It's one thing, like I pointed out that the only flaw I see is the pinpoint 3-point shooting. Okay. And I truly believe that could be made up for with the personnel. Okay. However, I do think this, and correct me if I'm wrong, those number of games that they were down 80 and LeBron last year, I really do feel a Westbrook would have compensated for that. You know what I mean? And like you said, I agree. That's that energy. You know what I mean? To actually push through and get these guys going, even when they are looking at it like the chips are down. You know what I mean? Because that's the way they play. When those guys went out last year, them boys played like, oh shit, the ship has sunk. you know.
Well, they played defense though during that stretch because I remember they were giving Frank Vogel a lot of credit for how hard they were playing. But to your point, bro, they didn't have enough scoring. So I think that's where Russ comes in then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you don't have a pinpoint shooter, you don't have a playmaker, that can set up 3-point shooting. So you didn't have either of those factors there. I think even with to me, the Lakers did not upgrade in 3-point shooting. That's just my opinion. However, I think in the flow of a game, Westbrook can actually get those shooters the ball in rhythm a little bit better in the way that AD posting up or LeBron, you just sitting there waiting on LeBron to pass you the ball, can do. So it's a different dynamic of who passes you the ball when you're spotting up shooting a three. So that's just my opinion, man.
Right. Well, Westbrook get guys wide open threes because he penetrating the whole defense collapse and then he just kick it out. You gotta be wide ass, and then you either make it or you don't. And a lot of times they make it, on team, a lot of times they make it because that's why he lead the league in assists a lot of times. So, selfish players don't lead the league in assists. That don't happen.
Well, he wasn't able to do what Chris Paul did, so.
But and then you look at Houston, when James Harden got out of Houston, but the year before that, when he had Westbrook and they were playing, you heard the reports come out. Westbrook in the film study, Westbrook on time, James Harden missing film study, James Harden late for the plane, James Harden want to be a superstar, treated like Westbrook was there with the team, humble, want to be treated like everybody else. I just don't see how a guy like that can get such a knock, but a guy like James Harden, who's never won nothing, is choked in every playoff series he's ever been in or got hurt, he gets celebrated. They're like, yeah, with him, we can do everything. But with Russ, I just don't get it.
No, James Harden's got his criticism. They both got their criticism.
Right, but he should always be criticized. Like Westbrook always criticizes for being great. I don't understand. Like, I find no fault with Westbrook or his game. When you can average it, look, when I came up as a basketball fan and historian, one thing that always amazed me was Oscar Robertson in that triple. I was like, I don't know how a guy could do it. I never see it in my life. And this guy has not only done it once, but he's done it 4 times. And his teams win when it's not stat pen. His team wins 70% or more of their games when he get these triple doubles. I just think it's one of the most amazing things I ever see. And when I talk to my grandchildren about basketball, I gotta tell them, man, there's this guy Westbrook, man. He was great. He was awesome. You should have seen what he was doing. You'll never see it. You might have to go 50 more years before you find somebody like that.
I'm sure you are.
I appreciate what he brought to the game.
But the way Luka Doncic handling the ball, he on the same course.
Luka's great. I mean, Luka's gonna be Luka at the time Luka in his career, barring injury, he could be the greatest player ever to play. That's how good Luka is. Luka is great. He the truth.
He the truth. Well, good. Seems like all hearts and minds are clear. Thank y'all for coming on, man. This has been good. Thank Joe for coming on for the first time. James, thank you for coming back. It's always.
What's up, Joe? Appreciate that, Joe. Good talk, Joe.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all, man.
Parrish, thank you. Thanks to
Parrish, what's up, man? Long time, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, your passion remains the same, baby. It's been constant.
Yeah.
Yeah, James. No, definitely. People listening, there's definitely nothing between me and James. We just competitive.
Oh yeah.
We on different sides of the spectrum, but it's just competition. There ain't nothing personal.
Absolutely.
But thank y'all again, man. I'm going to close it out, man. But y'all be safe. Take it easy. We hopefully catch up in the near future.
All right, family.
Hey, man, y'all be good, man.
Hey, we the ones.
Hey, James, remember to acknowledge me. next time.
Joe.
And folks, that's another intense edition of the All Basketball Podcast. Like I said once, we thank James, Parrish, Mike, Joe, and Cornelius for coming on this NBA preview show. We'll see how it all unfolds as the season starts next Tuesday. Should be entertaining. Hopefully everybody stays healthy on the court. And if I don't say it enough, please subscribe to the All Basketball Podcast. You can find it on all your podcasting platforms. And if you want to see the visuals, it's on YouTube. Just search All Basketball Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. And until next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.